There's a place in World of Warcraft where knowledge and death go hand in hand. A place so haunted that even the undead whisper its name with fear. Welcome to Scholomance, the spookiest dungeon in all of WoW. Before the Plaguelands were dead, before the Scourge consumed Lordaeron, there was a family, a powerful, wealthy family, the Barovs, who feared one thing above all else: death. They owned a grand estate on a lonely island in Lake Daromir, and it was here that greed met damnation. The Barovs were obsessed with legacy, their land, their wealth, their power, but as they aged, whispers of immortality reached them through a man who we all might know named Kel'Thuzad, a once respected archmage of Dalaran. He promised them what no king, no priest, and no god could grant: eternal life. But it came with a price: their home, their family, and their humanity. Willingly, the Barovs accepted. Without knowing, the Barovs handed over the estate to Kel'Thuzad's secret cult, the Cult of the Damned, believing they'd live forever. And in a way, they did, but their souls were bound to undeath, and their home became something else entirely. Kel'Thuzad, serving the Lich King at the time, Ner'zhul, turned the catacombs beneath Duro into a school of necromancy, a place to train new cultists in the art of raising the dead. He named it Scholomance, from the ancient tongue meaning School of the Damned. Inside, the brightest minds of Lordaeron's nobility came to learn forbidden magic. They thought they were gaining power. They were really signing away their souls. The students of Scholomance studied under some of the most crazy minds the cult had to offer. Their lessons weren't about light or wisdom. They were experiments in pain, resurrection, and decay. They learned how to strip flesh from bone, how to rip souls from bodies, and how to enslave spirits as servants. In classrooms, corpses were dissected as casually as textbooks are opened. Those who failed their lessons became part of the curriculum. Quite literally. The professors, each was a horror story of their own. Dr. Thaloan Krasanov, known as the Butcher, turned students into flesh projects. He believed true mastery of life came from tearing it apart. Ras Frostwhisper, once a mortal mage, trained his soul for eternal undeath, a frozen corpse bound to the Lich King's will. Instructor Malicia, who believed discipline came through pain, and whose students often screamed for mercy that never came. And at the top of it all was the headmaster himself, Darkmaster Ganling. Ganling was once a scholar of Dalaran, a brilliant, arrogant man who saw death not as an end, but as the ultimate subject of study. Kel'Thuzad saw potential in his ambition and offered him a place as Scholomance headmaster. Under Ganling, Scholomance became a factory of necromancers, producing dozens of death mages for the Scourge's growing army. He delighted in watching his students fail, because failure meant he could raise them again to serve him eternally. He'd toy with his apprentices, teleporting them from classroom to classroom, forcing them to relive their lessons over and over again. Those who impressed him became undead instructors. Those who didn't became specimens. And what of the Barov family, the ones who started it all? Their pact granted them eternal life, yes, but in undeath. Now, Alexei and Weldon Barov wander their ruined estate, obsessed with one thing: their inheritance. They kill each other endlessly, resurrecting again and again, locked in an eternal feud over property that no longer exists. Their greed birthed Scholomance, and now greed is all they have left in undeath. When the Scourge ravaged Lordaeron, Scholomance became ground zero for death magic. The entire island of Darrow was consumed by undeath. The lake turned gray, the air turned cold. Now in Classic WoW, the players were eventually sent to purge it. Not to reclaim the school, but to burn it to the ground. But even in victory, darkness lingers. Evil rarely dies, it just hides in the shadows, waiting for the next lesson to begin. Now fast forward a few years to the expansion Mists of Pandaria, where we revisit Scholomance. Years later, the doors of Scholomance opened up once more. Darkmaster Ganling had returned, resurrected by the cult's lingering power. And among the new generation of students was one unwilling pupil, Lillian Voss, who we encounter from the Cataclysm Undead Starting Zone. Once a member of the Scarlet Crusade, now a Forsaken struggling against what she'd become. Ganling saw her as his greatest experiment, a perfect subject for undeath, but she fought back. Her rage burned brighter than any necromancer's magic. Her defiance turned the tide, and for the first time, with the player's help of course, someone escaped Scholomance not as a monster, but as a survivor. Today, Scholomance still stands as the monument to mankind's darkest curiosity, the hunger for knowledge that defines morality. It's a place where students learn to conquer death only to become its slaves. Even now, the halls echo with whispers, the chants of the damned still reciting their last lesson. Those who seek to master death will always find it waiting to master them. And that is the true story of Scholomance, the most cursed classroom in all of Azeroth. And if you enjoyed this World of Warcraft holiday video, let me know in the comments down below. Maybe I'll make a video off of Stratholme, Karazhan, or something else. I personally love World of Warcraft Halloween, and hopefully you do too, and I hope you got some nostalgia out this video. Y'all have a nice Halloween, or Hallow's End. Hopefully get your mount. Take care, and peace.